Alright, so I showed you the kit, or this bag. Now I'm going to show you what's inside. This is the first kit that I've been building, first aid kit. And this is for backpacking, and I'm a Scoutmaster and I'm taking Boy Scouts. So I have, it's a small group kit, maybe you can say. So I'm going to show you what's inside of it. We'll start with this side. Well, yeah, we'll start with this side, and then we'll move this way. First of all, this is something that I can't. These are Epi Pens. I have a Boy Scout, one of my scouts. His parents gave me this. He's allergic to bee stings, and the last thing I want to do is be out in the middle of the woods and he gets stung, and I don't have any way to treat him, and then he dies. So we got an Epi Pen. We got some trauma shears. These are fairly high quality. They were $4. This is a syringe for irrigation, and I also have this 3/4 fluid ounce povidone iodine solution that I can use for irrigation. So put it in a bowl of water, and I could use this to irrigate. And I have my tweezers that they have a sharp point. I've used these a couple times and I really like them. And then let's see, I also have a lot more. Oh, and here's some suture strips for closing up big cuts. I like these better than actual sutures, of course, because I am not trained to use sutures. But this I'm not sure if I'll keep in. It's maybe I will. It's basically some paper towel right here for more of a gauze type, but it's not sterile. And I also have some actual gauze, small gauze right here. So this, you know, gauze, making bandages. And then in here I have bigger gauze, some more gauze. These are 4x4s, a couple 4x4s, and some, what is that, 2x3s. And then I think that's it for that pouch. And this side I have, this is horse wrap. And bought this at like a store in town that caters to farmers and ranchers and horse people, and so it's cheaper than buying this same wrap that's tan colored. You know, usually you get it at Walmart. It's like this size, same amount, and it's $4. This is $2. This is $2, and you get twice as much, and it's bigger. This is a Cpr mask. I'm debating on if I need this or not. I just took a quick CPR course, and the new one is a little different. The new way of doing CPR is different than it used to be, where you did what, 5 breaths, 1 compression, or 15 breaths, 2 compressions. Now they say just do a whole lot of compressions. I don't know. I might keep it in. Then right here, ready to grab, I have 2 sets of gloves. These are size medium nitrile gloves. There's 2 in here. There's 2 in here. I have them ready to grab. I also, on this side, I try to keep this side ready to grab. I got my Israeli bandage here for major trauma. This is a compressed gauze packet that I can put underneath this if I need to. I have my normal, this is just athletic tape. This is probably what I use the most. Use this and some cheap, this small gauze, when somebody has a big cut that's not real deep, I'll just throw this on real fast, wrap around. That's usually all it needs. But if it's really bad, I've got, there's a triangular bandage under there, and then I've got quick clot. So I have, for really bad bleeding, I have an Israeli and a quick clot I can put together. Put some more gauze underneath the Israeli if I need to. And that's most of my bleeding. That's bleeding and a little bit of CPR, and even some joint. So this is wrapping your ankles or your knees. And I can also use the tape for wrapping ankles and knees. Moving on. And this one, this is more of a multi-purpose, so I have stuff that's not first aid in here as well. But, you know, I have my Tylenol. I like these little containers. Have my ibuprofen here. And this one I don't like. Tylenol doesn't sit well with me, but somebody else might. I can use it with somebody else. Advil I use the most. My vitamin I. And I've refilled this so many times. And I make sure that it's full before I leave every time. So those are my anti-inflammatories and my pain meds. This is, you know, most of my medicine. So this is histamine. Histoprene is the brand, is the name. But this is also, you know, a scout having an allergic reaction to a bee sting. I can, if it's a really small one, I can give them these pills. There's 4 of them. I have these pills. I forgot what these were. This is one of the reasons why when you put pills in your thing, you label them. I need to find out what these are before I can use them. These pills, I do know what they are because I use them all the time. These are for my what is it? I can't even remember what you call it. Like your stomach flare-ups or your. I'll have to think. I'll write. I can't. My mind's just went blank on what these are for. But I take 2 a day. 1 in the morning, 1 at night. These are anti-diarrhea pills, and as you can see, I've used one of them. Backcountry, you don't want to have diarrhea, or yeah, diarrhea is bad. You don't want it. So that's what those are for. Chapstick. This is a little vial of glue, liquid skin. That's what it's called. So it's kind of like super glue, but in a little container. So this is like a 1-time use, 2-time use. This is Tums. Antacid. So that's what these are. I just remembered. These are antacid. And this is more, you know, if these aren't working at the time. So those are my drugs. In this one I have hydrocortisone cream, a bunch of hydrocortisone creams, and a bunch of these triple antibiotic ointments. I don't like carrying a tube. I like carrying these little packets. 1-time use things. And then I also have these squares of iodine treatment pads instead of alcohol pads, because alcohol will evaporate through your package, and so you don't know how long they last. And that's not saying you can't have alcohol pads, but I like to do iodine. I can also use this if I needed. I can also use these pads if I'm making a flood or irrigation. You know, if I run out of, if I use this up, you know, these are, I can drop this in the thing of water, and I can use that to irrigate as well. So it kind of double purpose. This is my one suture kit. It's nylon, black filament. Anyways, I have no idea how to use this. I'll probably never will because I'm not trained on suturing. I'd rather use these strips. But if it gets real bad and somebody else in my group knows how to suture and has been trained to suture, or somebody comes upon us and they can suture, that's the only reason I have it in there. So that's this little packet. And so in here, in this little packet, these are my Band-Aids. You know, I don't really have that many Band-Aids. These are all the little ones, but I do have a bunch of the butterflies. I'm a believer of butterfly bandages over anything else. You know, they're more important, I think. And then that's it. I think. Oh, I do have one feminine hygiene product. Maybe I'll take that out since I actually have real bandages in here now. That's been in there for a while. And then let's see what else I have. More iodine stuff. And then I have non-first aid stuff. I don't know. I guess you could use this. This is my duct tape, or this is Gorilla Tape duct tape. I just cut a piece of plastic and I wrapped it a whole bunch of times. That's what it looks like. I've been carrying this around for a while and never used it. I also have sewing needle. This is a piece of cardboard, and then so the sewing needle is in between it, and then I just tape over the end so it can't fall out. You can hear it shaking in there. And then my sewing thread, I put it on a bobbin and then I just taped it so that it won't come out. And this is bonded nylon, size 69, so it's kind of thick thread and a lot of it, and I've never used that either. And then roll of tape. This is Transport 3M tape, small size. So that's everything in my kit. A few things I'm still debating on is, you know, I bought this tape right here. It's the 3M Durapore. It's kind of big. You know, if you look at this, you can look at the size difference. You know, but I can use this a lot. I'm debating on if I want to bring this or if I want to bring this, because I can use this for this and I can use this for other things. More dual purpose. I don't know. I'm still debating on that. Another thing I'm debating on is I got the Z-Pak Dressing. I kind of was going to use it, and then I bought this at the same time in the same place. This compressed H&H compressed gauze. And, you know, looking at the size, this is much more vacuum packed. And so I think I'm going to go with this, but I don't know. I have to think about what I'm going to use this now for. Anyways, that's my first aid kit. I'm going backpacking this weekend, and so maybe I'll show you my backpack stuff all put together, ready to go. And then, you know, it's in the first aid kit, so I won't redo this one. But if you have any comments or questions or anything you want to say, you just leave a comment. I guess, you know, the biggest thing I need to tell you is that I'm not, you know, I was looking at some other things I could put in it, like something for airway, you know, like a nasal tube, or this thing you stick down your throat. And I asked my brother-in-law is a doctor, and him and his wife both are doctors, and I asked them about it, and they said if you don't have the training, it's kind of illegal to use those. And I don't have the training, so I'm not going to bring them. I also don't have a needle to stick in your chest, decompression needle, because I don't have any training to do that either. So this is what I have. This is what I know how to use everything here. This is the training I have, and so maybe later I'll add more stuff if I get more training, but for now this is what I got. Anyways, thanks for watching.